Broadcast, ISRO has announced a fresh launch date for Chandrayaan 2. Chandrayaan 2 will now launch on July 22nd at 2:43 p.m. Well, this is the big breaking story coming in after the technical snag that had in fact hampered the first launch of Chandrayaan 2 on July 15, 2019. Fresh date has been announced by ISRO. Chandrayaan 2 launch, which was called off due to a technical snag on July 15, 2019, has now been rescheduled for 2:43 p.m. Indian Standard Time on Monday, July the 22nd, 2019. Mugilan joining us live on the broadcast. Mugilan, fresh launch date and time for Chandrayaan 2 has been announced. What more details can you share with us?
Definitely. Now, as per the tweet from the ISRO, it says that the launch of Chandrayaan 2 will be on July 22nd at 2:43 p.m. is the latest update which is coming from ISRO. We have already seen that the earlier scheduled launch was called off due to a technical snag in the Chandrayaan 2 because it was planned for earlier. It was planned for July 15. On the very 1 hour before the launch, there was a leak detected in the helium tank of the cryogenic engine. So right after that anomaly was detected, the launch was called off right 1 hour before the launch. Then the rocket was taken again for proper inspection. And now what we're getting to hear from the ISRO is that the launch will be on the July 22nd and it will be launched at 2:43 p.m. is the latest update what we're getting. And this GSLV Mark III is always considered as a naughty boy in ISRO because this is not the first time that the scheduled launch of Chandrayaan 2 is getting postponed. In earlier instances also, at least twice, the scheduled launch was called off or postponed to another date because of this cryogenic engine. Now the scientists and the sources in the ISRO very clearly confirm that the anomaly in the helium tank that was spotted earlier has been completely fixed, and that is why now they are going ahead with the July 22nd launch date.
Well, very interesting, Mugilan, because it was widely speculated that the launch would now be delayed by almost a month, but instead what we're seeing happen is that the fresh launch date is right now, July 22nd. That's barely 7 days later than the initial launch date.
The launch period, the window for the launch period, what they said was ending before August 13th. So now the scientists have worked on and they have found the anomaly and now they have fixed, and that is why they have scheduled the launch for July 22nd, and this has been confirmed also. So we can expect with crossed fingers that the scheduled launch for July 22nd will go smoothly.
All right, this of course is the big development that we are tracking. At this time, of course, the launch, many would heave a sigh of relief in our newsroom, is 2:43 p.m. and not a.m. So that's of course the big development coming in. But Chandrayaan 2 launch was called off due to the technical snag. Mugilan reporting that the snag has been dealt with. ISRO there launching the fresh time and date, 22nd July, 2:43 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Mugilan, bring us up to speed with what the launch window was for ISRO and the fact that it has, very well within that launch window announced the new date.
Definitely. The earlier launch window was between July 13th and August 13th. And this is the third time for the
Chandrayaan 2 launch has been postponed and it was scheduled for July 15th. And right 1 hour before the launch, there was a leak found at the helium tank which is in the cryogenic engine. And right after this leak was detected right after filling the cryogenic fuel into the fuel tanks. So at the right moment, the very nick of the moment, the scientists found that there is a leak identified in the helium tank, and immediately the entire launch was called off because earlier instances also there were leaks leaks found during the filling of the cryogenic fuels, but it was rectified then and there. But the scientists want this to be a very short mission, and that is why they called off the entire launch. They took once again they took it to the workstations, and now the leak has been identified and it has been fixed, is what we can learn from the scientists also, because this is a very prestigious and a historic mission.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.